Here's your lesson on a skill saw. Okay, this lever right here, that sets the bevel of this plate. That's going to be the angle you cut through the wood at. This lever back here, when you loosen that, that moves this plate up and down. That tells you how deep you're going to go into the wood. Alright, so what I did is, because I didn't like the little thin one blade kerf, I put 2 blades on this. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you offset the points of each blade so they're not stacked right on top of each other. You want to hit the gaps between the blade. Can you zoom? Okay, so that's what I did to make it a little wider. Other than that, you might have a safety switch on there up by your thumb, so you got to push that over before you squeeze the trigger. Mine doesn't have that. That's about it on the saw. So the way I laid this out, I laid it out every 2 inches and I put a mark. Speed square. You can buy a plastic one at Home Depot for $3. Looks just like this. So every 2 inches I put a mark across the top of this. Now this board right here, it clamped on the back. When I first started practicing, this is plywood, so it tore the material out of the back. So now I put this backer on here, so now when I run through, it won't tear that material out. So that's basically about it. So you set this on your mark, then you just run the saw through. Put it up there flat. Make sure and hold this tight to your material. Just like that. Go to the next mark. Every 2 inches I went. Okay, now when you do this, you're going to want to take those marks that you made and transfer them down to the other edge of your board so that all these come out in the same spot. So you'll just take this mark it on the wood. You don't need to go all the way. Just put a little tick mark here and come up from the bottom. Make a tick mark there, and then you come across like this and put your mark that you follow the saw with. And you just do that all the way down. Now when you do this, and you take it apart, and you're going to do the other side, well, you cut from this side. Now when you take it apart and going to cut the other side, you got to cut from this side. So you take it and you flip it up like this. Now you're going to have that same angle again coming back on this side. Clamping. Make sure and clamp it to something solid. You know, like I say, maybe you don't need this backer board for tear out, but I did because of plywood. That's about it. We can take this off. See the difference? This is when I didn't have that backer on there. It tore the material out with the saw blade. This is where that board was on there. They're nice and clean. So now we cut it this way. If we're gonna do the other side at the same angle, all we do is take it up like this. Now we're cutting from the other side. Yeah, I guess make sure and transfer your marks. If you get tear out, use a backer board with another set of clamps. Don't cut your clamps with the saw. It's happened.
Or
But
your
yeah,
finger.
you can get cheaper ones of these. Something like they'll sell them in packs. You can get them like this. You can probably get a 4-pack for $12, $14 or something. And yeah, that's about it, depending on how wide you go. But like I say, just make sure and the marks that you set up here, make sure you transfer them to the other side. So that way when you come back, you're exactly in line with the ones on the other edge. That's it. Skill Saw 101.